It's the Kyle Hyman Show on Redeemer Radio.
This is Kyle Hyman, and joining us to talk about an incredible missions opportunity that's really founded and based here in the diocese, but going all over the world, is the Divine Healer Medical Mission. And so if I could have you guys just go ahead and introduce yourselves and maybe a little background on how you got involved with the mission.
Well, I'm Jenny Perkins, and I met Sister like 20 years ago, so I've seen this thing come for a long time. Now we're just starting the Divine Healer Medical Mission, but I've seen this whole process come along, and so I'm excited to see how everything's going to go.
Yeah, great.
Gary Torchio. I met Sister when she was working at St. Joe Hospital many years ago, and I and Sister are both members of St. Elizabeth's Parish, and so after morning mass one day, she caught me in the parking lot and asked me to get involved, and I knew she was a great nurse, had taken care of a lot of my patients over the years, and so I was more than happy to try to help.
And Sister?
And I am Sister Austin Churis Esotu. I am a member of Daughters of Mary, Mother of Mercy. I have been in Fort Wayne for 21 years now. Initially, we were invited by Bishop Darcy, and I worked in the diocese in the marriage tribunal for a couple of years before I decided to go into medical field. But we founded Divine Healer last year, so we will talk about that in detail.
And so you studied to be a nurse here?
Yes.
And then
at IPFW.
Okay.
And then after graduation or doing the nursing, but I got a job at St. Joe Hospital. And I was there for 11 years, working as a floor nurse. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what made you want to start up this mission?
I have been doing a little bit of maybe one-woman medical mission for a very long time. So I try to go back to Nigeria pretty much like once a year. I started out like when I go, I will do like a little bit of a medical mission in a rural area. Then I will have like few people help me. They will like pass medication, do check sugar and all that for me. And then I will see patients, give them the medication that I have. And each year it will keep growing. And then looking at that area, though, there wasn't like any like medical care or anything or hospitals or anything around that area. So each year I will go back. And then I've been thinking about like taking like a larger group to go with me until in 2017, November, I was doing a rotation with one of the medical doctors here in Fort Wayne. She's a family medicine doctor. She wanted me to join her in one of the deliveries that she will be doing that December. But I told her that I'm traveling on a medical mission trip. So she has been going to like medical mission trips to other countries. So she got interested. She was like, tell me a little bit about this. So I told her that I'm going to Nigeria and I have been doing this for years now. And she's like, okay, I have always wanted to go to Africa, but it's always hard to get into any of the countries there because of the political stuff. So I told her that I'm going to sign her up, that she can come with me, that this is going to be so easy. So immediately she texted her friend and she connected so many people and wanted to get more people to go with us though. So I reached out to some of the medical mission organizations, but most of them has already set up like the countries that they will be going and all that. So started praying about, I have that feeling, or maybe God was telling me that one of the medical missionary director was like, why don't you start one? Maybe you can go to Africa, those places, all those places that you want to go. But I told her that it's not going to be possible because I have so much going on at this point. So, but it keep coming up to my mind. I keep pushing it away. And then one day, I was talking to Jenny. I called her. I was like, Jenny, I don't know if I can do this, but it's just coming to my mind. Now I am looking at this corporation thing. I don't even know where to start, and I don't know if they will even approve it. I remember one word that she told me, why don't you do it? If they denied you, then that's a big thing. That's a
Sign.
that it's not going to go. So I did all the forms, completed everything, turned it in, and then I received an email back from them that it would take like a couple of months before we will get a response. And then within an hour, I got an approval. I called Jeannie. I was like, this is what I have. I don't know what this is, but
that's a sign.
I think it's a big sign. So we'll keep going. So that's when I started reaching out to everybody that, he wants this. I guess we have to do it.
Yeah. We're talking about the Divine Healer Medical Mission. You can find information at divinehealer.org. Doing a mission. I know it's not exclusive to Nigeria, but that's what is currently on the plans and perhaps expansion in the future. Can you give us a little rundown of the situation, particularly in this, I understand it's a rural village in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. What is the current situation there? What are some of the needs of the people? What's the clinic able to do? And then what is the mission going to be able to help out with?
So right now, though, the clinic has a physician, general practitioner that does everything.
Okay.
Sees patients, takes care of, they have like a high malaria. It's like a high malaria area. Hypertension, that's a big one. Diabetes, that's another big one, though.
You had mentioned there are a lot of children that if they're disadvantaged in some way, they get abandoned.
Exactly, like physically disabled, or challenged. So those kids, most of them, though, they need that medical care, and most times, though, it's harder for family members to actually take care of them.
So do they go into an orphanage, or is there a foster care program at all?
We had, like, one of our sister, the one that the hospital back home was named after. She actually had a home before she passed away that is called St. Vincent de Paul Home for physically challenged children. So she would take all these kids because most of them has been abandoned by their family. So she has a big home for them. They all live together, including herself. And she has a little school for them. And so everything is being done there. So she had like a lot of, like, large number of kids that she was taking care of before she passed away. So yes, they always.
But Mother Mary Paul was the one that really encouraged you, though, to get the hospital going and.
Yes, this is her project that I actually kind of was trying to make it come alive, because she wanted to have like the hospital built in a rural area, and then the home for the physically disabled children. But in the midst of doing all this, she was diagnosed with brain cancer, and then she passed away.
Yeah.
But I promised her that we will continue. We will try our best to carry on or to continue her mission. So Divine Healer is kind of tied to that as well, because that's one of the...
Well, first of all, it gives you a place to go with the first mission. We have a clinic that we can go to. It's already established, and so we have a means to come right in and do something right away. But Mother Mary Paul is very much behind all of it, and I feel like she's just given us the go-ahead to do everything.
I can tell you a story. That's fine.
Okay. Well, I will tell you that when Sister needed the solar system, it's to keep it open, she had gotten half of it, and so she needed another, was it?
6,000.
6,000. So anyway, we were trying to figure out where we could get it. So I asked my brother if he would do this, or my sister-in-law, and she came back and she said yes, she would. And so I told my sister-in-law, I says, well, Sister will be praying for your family and whatever. But my brother was just diagnosed with terminal cancer. This was like 2 years ago, and they gave him 2 months to a year to live. And so I told Sister that, and of course Sister prayed for him, but she prayed to this Mother Mary Paul. And in a very short time, within like a couple of weeks after that, my brother went back into the doctor, and there is no cancer at all. And there is still no cancer.
Wow.
So I like Mother Mary Paul.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you, I like Mother Mary Paul. So now I pray to her for everything. So,
Yeah.
but she's the one that's behind us, and it was interesting that this clinic has come along, a little bit at a time. First, wasn't it your father that gave you the land to?
Yeah, your Mother Paul approached my father for the land, and then he donated the land, but nothing was built on it. And as soon as the land was donated, that's when she was diagnosed with brain cancer. So she couldn't do anything at that point, though. So after she passed away, that's when I approached them, my family, and then I asked them if there's any way that they can build or help to build a hospital, which it took them up to 10 years to do, and the hospital was finally finished in 2016. And since then, they have done, I wish I have the statistics,
Yeah.
like C-sections, they have done deliveries, because before people do deliver at home, though, nobody...
Well, and if you're a pregnancy case and you need a C-section and you die.
Right.
So I mean, there's no way you're going to get to a hospital. So if you've got a impetigo in your eye or something and it's darn serious to you, you just need some antibiotic cream, but it's serious. And so everything over there just seems to spread so far and do so much good.
Yeah.
So.
And then they are also offering monthly food pantry. Because last time that I was there, I saw a mother because whenever I go, I do still see patients, take care of them. A mother brought a young kid, maybe around 5 years old. And looking at that kid, though, all I know that this kid has kwashiorkor, honestly. So ask the mother, what are you feeding this kid?
And that's the protein deficiency.
Yeah, what are you doing, giving to this kid? They really don't have that much.
Right.
She provides whatever that she has. So that's how we actually started a food pantry. So now people can come like every last Saturday and then get food from the hospital. So they try to provide like both carbs, protein, just the balanced diet so that they can have for a couple of days.
When you have it, how many families come in to get the food?
Last one they did, they had over 100 people, but at this point it's going to be like 100 that we can be able to do. But you can't turn people away. When they come, you still have to provide.
But this is a reason that we're hoping that people will consider donating to Divine Healer Medical Mission, because it will go from Fort Wayne directly to the people. There's nobody in between. So, and they're hungry. They're so hungry that they have these major deficiencies. So we're really hoping people will see what a great opportunity when you know where your money's going. And the whole thing has been closely related to Fort Wayne all along, because way back when she first started it and when you were getting your hospital together, and I thought even someone from Fort Wayne did the prints for you and things.
Yes, that's Matt Cauty.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the one that designed the hospital. Did the architecture.
Right. And so we feel like Fort Wayne's got their hand in it anyway over there.
Yeah.
So something that we in Fort Wayne, and the bishop's very excited about it too, where we in Fort Wayne can really touch down and do something very good and serious in Nigeria, because we can get right into where we should be with no political problems at all.
Yeah. So for anybody that would like to go on a trip or wants to support in any way through materials or finances, divinehealer.org, and you can find backstory on the whole forming of all of this and information about being a volunteer, donate, contact, all that's available there. Divinehealer.org. Thank you all for coming on here and sharing a little bit of this journey and inspiring us, and hopefully getting some more people on board to help you guys out. So
yeah, and then we have another actually mission. Even though we're doing this one in March, we have an upcoming mission in October. So it would be nice to have people.
I'm hoping to go on that one.
People that will join us, so they can go to the website and they can get all that information as well.
All right, great.
For the upcoming one.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Keep up the
Thanks,
great work.
Kyle. Appreciate it.
Thank you.